matches like this are definitely a marathon, not a sprint. Not a sprint, sorry. Golden Boy's absolutely correct with that one. And EG are taking early A lobby control.
And this is what the comp really excels at when you're running pretty standard stuff with the Breach and the Sova. You can see them already taking full advantage of it. It's only one player, Boostio, try and hold his ground here. Standard harbor wall.
Oh, that's
not quite standard, actually. Yeah, this is a bit unusual.
Yeah, that is a weird one. And it's actually triggered an EG push out through A lobby too. Boostio might grab a couple, but also
he's got to know that
be worried about being flanked.
With this deep push through A lobby, Boostio's got to be aware of it. And now, yeah, he's going to be making a call all the way through here. Crashy's unaware. Trailblazer was leading the charge. Unable to get his gun out, and the rest of EG as well starting to collapse now onto the flanks and extremities. It's Victor. Needs to win his fight and his one here into Garage. Will he be cleared out? Another refight as well. NRG opting to try and fight towards the back of the spawn and flip the map with Ardis also. There. Comes down to this, doesn't it? Victor now starting to back away. Looks to take the fight again, actually. Second guesses himself, and it's just down to Ardis. He gained a space prior into this, pushing all the way deep into the spawn, but it's EG with every single avenue watched for and a pistol round taken away.
Already it starts, the mental battle. All going over, spraying the bodies, celebrating before they stick the defuse. Just looking to get in some damage early on. Last time these two teams faced off, NRG won every pistol round and yet still ended up losing the series.
Yeah.
Which is quite incredible if you think about it. EG starting out here pretty strong. And the pathing was very interesting. NRG went for an unusual harbor wall, but didn't clear out Boostio properly. And then the flank as it came through didn't actually go straight into Victor in Garage. Instead, they went through B and pinched Victor. Both of these teams are going to have a very good idea of how the other plays on Haven.
I mean, they've certainly got enough reps recently.
Right.
Playing enough times. Rematches on rematches, but it's a matchup that means a lot. I mean, we were hearing in some of those pieces that were being ran before this match, NRG as well, they feel like EG are being those cocky upstarts almost as well, you know, to getting ahead of themselves.
Look at these smokes. They've managed to get Victor into a position where he's past the Killjoy utility. So this is the value of that harbor wall they used on the pistol. And they've smoked off.
Been cleared though.
Ethan clears it.
Yep, very aware.
But that's also going to mean that EG have to be worried about that later on.
Maybe make some adjustments to their own setups as a result of it, but this should be a relatively easy round, all things considered. Making sure to watch for every possible opening now. NRG forced to set their sights on to mid. Right through the center of it, hoping for a spike plan, maybe to get that money flowing, but it will not be the case. Not too much damage done at all to the overall economy. I mean, EG not even having to rebuy armor on most of their players.
We've also got an interesting dynamic in terms of the map pool here, Brent, where the first map definitely feels winnable by both sides. It was extremely close the last time that these two teams played on Haven.
One enemy remaining.
Even with the history of NRG being so excellent here.
Yeah.
And of course NRG have changed up their comp, but it really is anyone's game to start this off.
Normally the nature of these best of fives as well is where the map pool gets tested pretty heavily. This is a 4-player stack. EG looking to try and fight themselves, push deep into A lobby again.
This is the thing that EG's composition excels at. With their recon dart, with their stun, they can take A lobby control much easier than NRG can.
Oh, finesse. He's posted in an uncommon position, forced out of it with a utility. This is a reaction, an attempt by NRG to try and make the most of it as well.
Again.
Moving forwards into B and C, splitting up. Boostio at that angle, he's always getting value from that position, but this time doesn't know. At least not aware of the fact that Victor slipped into the backlines of B, and that space is granted and gained to them. All the footsteps rummaging into the backlines as well. Flipping the map, that's EG grouped together.
Com is ready for this. Look at how he's holding the A connector. He knows it's possible that NRG could try and pivot.
This is something that NRG do a lot. They take that B control, start to move into the A hit if they think that it's been pushed up deep through into A lobby. Close to it, almost claiming 2, but doesn't the gun not quite ideal for the job, but he's done enough damage, surely done enough work. Crashies forward. Left. This position, it doesn't get cleared. 1, 2, can he make it 3? Yes, indeed.
What an incredible play by Crashies.
They think they put us in
Take a
the
look down
dirt.
at the bottom of your screen there. You saw Crashies take a moment while he was tucked in the corner, wipe the perspiration from his palms, and pulls
30
off a
seconds
3K.
left.
Just incredible.
One enemy remaining.
I think that's it.
So calm in that moment.
Yeah.
And he saves his team.
And he has been a consistent top performer this playoffs at NRG. You talk about that Crash's consistency with every single event that they go to, tournament, when the pressure is highest and mounting, you can always rely on this guy to be performing.
Demon One's going to take a meander down mid here. They have the turret in a position where that Viper Orb that Finesse is throwing is not going to allow them to creep in.
Oh,
And
this
here he
is
is.
dangerous, but it's not being cleared! Spray through the reactions, 2 for his troubles, and he's out of there!
Awesome play. Really well done. Finesse has been putting down that Viper Orb, and NRG have put a focus very early on in this half of trying to lurk into B. And Demon One counters it by taking that walk through. They can hear the turret. They know that there's still Killjoy utility there. They don't expect the jet. Often this alarm bot is going to trigger a flash peek, which is why Victor backs up after breaking it.
Trying to bait out that aggression. 50 seconds remaining. Close to the corner, that's Boostio tucked, and I see a battle of the Killjoys taking place. Victor seems to be aware of it though, knowing that these deep positions could be played for, especially with the smoke in his face. He was precisely on it. Just knew what to expect there.
Very aware.
So it gives him the plan. High tide ripping his
planted.
way across. That's going to be covering up into Heaven. Does give the opportunity now for EG to actually get a little bit deeper out into the site. There's a Nanoswarm sitting as well for the first wave of utility. Just at that choke point. It's broken though. Snakebite to replace it. This is going to be pushing them further back. Time is starting to tick. Ethan holding his flash, and will there be a push off the back of it? Just a swing from him, seeing if he can gain anything. Fight's being taken all over the bloody map. One player remains, it's Victor. A draft play to the side here, nobody quite sticking it. The shorty swing, Nanoswarm stuck but fades away, and enough time being bought.
EG barrel themselves forwards with a very nice retake there. It feels like NRG struggled more so than we've seen from Loud and Furia to turn this composition into a heavy post-plank.
Absolutely.
You look at the VODs of how NRG play this, they're really smart at being able to get into sites. It's all of that past finesse, mid-rounding capability on Haven. It's always been excellent. But when they actually get to a site, you watch Loud play this map with the Viper Harbor comp, it feels impossible for teams to retake.
Yeah, they're replacing the Viper Orb, the Cascades, they're alternating that so you can't get through the smokes.
But here, the Viper Orb is used in B, that one of the Nanoswarms is on the plant, and so you don't have that same cascading utility at the spawn doors to keep EG out.
Normally you ain't getting through it at all.
So it's a very different approach to the way that NRG play post plants, and that I think could be something that EG look to exploit. NRG going to take a timeout here, and one of the other things it looks like EG were exploiting a couple rounds earlier is Boostio playing in top garage. And it seems like Som is fairly new to playing Harbor on this map. Finesse was talking about how new he is playing Viper on the map too. There are going to be holes in these wall setups where that kind of stuff is not present when you look at Loud.
Yeah.
And Boostio playing in that top garage area, we've seen on the pistol round and then in round,
What is it?
I don't know, 3 or 4.
There's that massive gap in terms of the way it's being placed. And don't get me wrong, this is hard. I was trying to attempt this the other day for a segment
It
that
is.
we were running.
It is.
It's hard to cut that across to block off the entirety of that top garage. You have to be really precise with it. And this is a new wall that they're throwing out for the first time. They weren't doing this in their prior showcase of this Haven double wall comp.
Absolutely.
This is new. So this is something that they've cooked up overnight. So of course there's going to be little errors here and there. And Boostio so far has been getting tremendous value just in that spot.
It looks like they're going to run the Fnatic set play here, which to me
Hunter's Fury.
seems like a bit of a waste when you're on such an anti-eco round.
Yeah, here we go. Dart over the top. Flashes wild to push it deep. And attempt to push into mid. Gets that connection, that tag. Expecting there to be more players towards it. One tag maybe there, not quite. No damage done, actually. The Hunter's Fury didn't stretch far enough.
And they didn't send Demon 1 fast into mid-window, so I thought they were going to extend Demon 1 and potentially donate a Vandal. Instead, it's just a bit of a wasted Hunter's Fury. Not the worst thing in the world.
Victor does have his own lockdown. So there won't be that big ultimate to counteract it. A flash repeat. This is another thing that's been in the playbook of EG. They love to get aggressive in those moments and find those timings. Really great one there. Offered the kill. It is the weak goodbye for NRG still, but Never know. Might be some danger in it. Victor with the rifle. He wants to lead it in for his team. Only the one traded. Shut down. Barreling forwards into the site. Demon 1 seeks to contain. Spraying it forwards. A dash to disengage. And Ethan is going to be watching.
One of the biggest things that was tripping NRG up the last time these two teams played on Haven was EG's propensity for playing aggressive in spots where NRG weren't expecting it. Jorgamo and Boostio are very aggressive site anchors. For two players that are out here on Killjoy and Astra, they love to swing, they love to disrespect utility, they are hard anchoring and pushing for info in spots like that. And it caught NRG so off guard previously. This is a fantastic start for EG.
Standing ahead.
Dart taken care of. Cascade in the face of Com. Bit dangerous to spam that. Always a chance as well that they could end up firing some bullets back and taking them out, but no, just backs them away. Their early presence by NRG, trying to fake like they could have crossed into A. And the call is made by EG to completely give it up for the retake. You can see the positioning of Com. He's not even worried about it. He's so far back into their own spawn. Now Demon 1 needs to be the playmaker. Dash just about gets out.
Almost caught.
Refight with the Seekers. Smokes in their faces. Nobody can get through that.
But incredible how much Demon 1's just holding his ground. This is what I mean. EG do not like to respect utility and back up. I would not be surprised to see them fight inside this lockdown.
Yeah, he's looking to try and refight. That's so deep pushed towards the double door. Spam onto it though.
Look how bold they are.
He has to get out, has to respect that. He was hoping that somebody would try and take that timing. He's detained, so not able to get out of there. NRG still a chance to try and plant this one. They would have to try and take the fight to them. A lot of damage done with the Odin work, but not enough to claim more than just the one kill. 2 players left standing for EG, and a full wraparound from NRG. They love to do this one. Take that space into B, through the connector now, a free plant onto the A site.
And this should be a very difficult spot for EG to get any value out of. A 2v4. Without really much playmaking utility either. They're going to rely on Jorgamo and Demon 1 to try and frag out. It's Finesse watching the flank. Are EG just playing for exits here? Doing damage to the NRG economy would be excellent in this spot.
Toxin screen down.
Yeah, hoping to try and fight some players as well who are vacating, saving the guns. It was almost fully purchased out by NRG, so they've got nothing left in the bank. If they lose these guns, it would be quite bad for them. EG hoping, yeah, bit of spam onto the corner there.
I'm surprised they're not playing more aggressively to try and deny these.
I mean, they can buy for next, but yeah.
Yeah, Demon 1 with a Blade Storm online. I mean, they could have tried to fight those NRG players, escaping just a little more heavily. 2 huge ultimates for EG to play retake with in this round and the next coming up. NRG's the kind of team that will often try and play around that, anticipating their team, their opponents rather, to be playing retake on A, for example. NRG's one of those squads that will occasionally mix in a pure contact push into the A site. I wouldn't be surprised to see it here with EG just play full retake A after Com spams a little at the start.
Not as much damage as I thought. It's Crashies who's receiving the brunt end of that. All that Odin spam, giving up the space once more.
This is going to be Finesse's job to stop Demon 1 getting a fast flank off.
You can see the amount of confidence that Demon 1 has. I mean, pure disrespect. You wouldn't think he's playing against the uncrowned kings of North America, but he's already bested them once before. Aims to take the duel, aims to take the fight. Finesse. Too aware for that.
Great anticipation. Already, though, you see Jorgamo going for that same repush down C. So turning a 4v5 situation into more risks, more playmaking.
Feels like a heavy read, though. Look at this. I mean, Finesse has still got his crosshair lined up on that angle. Almost like he expects it.
There's still 45 seconds. Here
Holding
comes
to the
Jorgamo.
push. And just narrowly accepting that timing. Listen, it was strained, but he gets the job done. Pushes on pushes. Artist. He's creeping his way up towards. Gonna break some of that util. Has to use the dash to get out of there.
There is not much time here.
25 seconds.
Right here.
Where are they landing? Spike now starting to make his way towards B, walking forwards. Orc goes down, and Boostio. Cheeky play by Crash. He's trying to lurk his way into this one. There's 15 seconds left. They got to get a move on. Time is really running short here, and the connector's just not quite theirs yet. Smoke pushing them back. Cascade. Is there going to be a gap in it? Rolling Thunder away. Carving through into the side. Bustio with 4 seconds remaining in this plan. It needs to be stuck. Someone deal with the dart. Surely Som sticks it. He gets it down. An extension of the round at least, and a chance to win for NRG. But it's a 2 versus 3. Come onto the corner, smokes the reposition. Artist tries to pick up the rifle, and he does get it in his hand, still with the knives. Moves forwards here. Com is alone. Right click. How's he managing that? Small margin for victory. Ethan and Jorgmo trying to play together here. Ethan holds that one, and Jorgmo takes the second. Clean with the retake, when it could have all come crumbling down.
A good try from Artist towards the end, but that was a mess of a round from NRG. They were expecting layer upon layer of aggression from EG, and they just ended up standing there, losing 2 people lurking into different sites.
There they are.
Ran out of time, and no real idea of where they wanted to finish or how they wanted to finish.
And I think it's
they're scared of ending A.
Yeah, it's almost uncomfortable from them, I believe, probably because they haven't put too much time into this double wall comp. They're used to, you know, being able to pivot in whatever directions they want, running a more standard comp like what EG has, but
perhaps. But I think also, you look at the way that EG are playing, they're almost full retake A in these prior 2 rounds with Breach Ult and with Lockdown. And NRG have not even been prodding in that area, apart from Artist going there earlier just as a lurker in round 7.
Now they've gained a lot of space here. Second layer of that utility with the Reckoning on top. Perfect for trying to clear out, push back these EG players who are looking to try and anchor hard. Should gain them the site. Here's the lockdown used though. Anything to counteract that one doesn't look likely, so some will get that plan down, but they're all going to have to be leaving this side unless Artist wants to go down with the ship while he pushes forwards. Attempt to catch a timing as they were trying to get back into this with the Viper's Pit. It's going to be blocking them. It's going to come down to that just, again, the random spam, the RNG, a bit of play here, even sticking it all the way. They can't quite land the shots. They can't land the util. It's pure improvisation, and it does not work. Not for NRG.
For NRG, that is, I don't even think it is improvisation, Brent. I've seen them run that same Viper's Pit play in the game yesterday, where we saw them play up against a lockdown retake. And in that situation, they also failed to execute on it. The Viper's Pit didn't even extend to the spike.
Yeah.
They knew that that was the play that they wanted to make, and yet still there are holes in it. We are definitely seeing EG's more drilled, practiced composition here, finding a lot of success. Finesse was talking about how they wanted to move over to Viper Harbor because they thought it was simply better on Haven, even though they didn't have as much practice. That theory isn't quite working today, is it?
No, not quite, but you're starting to see it really manifest as well, that uncomfortability playing it. Even if they do think it's the better composition, they're missing too many pieces when they get into the post plants, if they can even get to them in the first place. This time again, just a heavy reliance on trying to lean into the A hits here. Bit of a pump with the util, cut noise. Now 3 of the EG players are still onto the other side of the map. Jorgmo takes the angle, takes the fight. He's rewarded, still there as well. Wants to take the fight to them, doesn't back away. Lucio to watch one of the angles, an interesting smoke. Fades away, dissipates, and it's offered for the trade. NRG getting that one. Finesse watching for that re-flank and re-peek. 2 players left standing. Stun, misses. Finesse, he's still alive in this, and well, almost getting it with the spray down. Left down to just Com, and at this point, does he still try and go for this one? It is a 1v2.
Tough one for him. Has no idea that Summon Crashies are going to be playing here.
So pushed up. Yeah, this crossfire setup should never be failing, but does he have the awareness? He does! Doesn't quite land it, though. Crosshair was correct. Made the right reads.
And I'll give Finesse and NRG this credit. They are stopping Demon 1 from having major impact in those kind of rounds. Sure, Demon 1's still at the top of the scoreboard, but Finesse is extremely aware, watching for that flank play, knows where Demon 1 is going to be peeking from. My question is, are they putting too many resources and too much thought into that aspect, rather than being able to execute their own plans properly? They've still got chances to recover this half, but at the moment, it is great looking for EG.
Push-up attempt now into mid. Maybe the goal being to try and break some of that utility. There's a deep alarm bot that doesn't get dealt with. Now the Trailblazer. War misses. Som cuts it short. That's a bit of a mistake there, I believe. It's supposed to go straight into the back of C, and it's created an opening. Jorgmo playing into the back of his side. He's got a teammate to help him out with the dash there. Artist, how is he getting that one? It's traded still. Victor creeping and crawling, lurking into that window angle. NRG make the most of it. Was that intentional or was it a mistake? I'm not too sure. Either way, NRG are sitting comfortable now onto the site.
Yeah, Som didn't go for the normal high tide, but he actually covered it up with a cascade and allowed Victor to push behind. I think that's more to do with trying to persuade EG that, oh yeah, it's the normal high tide, don't worry. We won't have a garage lurker, and then suddenly Victor's there. I think NRG are trying to take the expectations and move them around a little. Small details. Once more, another round, by the way, where Demon 1 was posted up in short early on, didn't get a chance to play.
Yeah, avoided.
They didn't know that he was in that area, but didn't throw their normal A short. Kind of default, just went straight to C.
I've heard teams as well talk about Demon 1, the same level of respect that you put onto the name of players like Aspas, where you really do build almost your entire game plan around avoiding him as a player, mitigating what he can do. Demon 1 said himself he realizes it when people are trying to avoid fights against him, and he plays even more agile. He's hopping around the map as well when he knows that they're just trying to avoid him. He plays just that much more freeing.
That's part of the problem. When you play against great players, you want to give them a lot of respect. You want to make sure you're very disciplined, but that can often give them more space and more time to get their work done. I feel like you would be a better rank player if you let a little rat play for you instead.
Me?
Yeah.
What, just in the top of my head?
Yeah, just had a little Ratatouille pulling on your hair.
Ratatouille-esque. Is this where the drama of our Premier games comes out, Josh, where we couldn't make finals? Is this where it finally comes out?
EG are going to take a timeout here, make sure that things don't slip away for them. It's a big opening map. It's a BO5, many different ways that this series can go.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's some maps where you favor one team heavily over another. I mean, I'm thinking about Ascent coming up, next map. EG, one of 3 teams all time to be able to beat Loud there. They looked phenomenal at it yesterday.
Definitely going to be comfortable there. And so they don't want to let this lead that they've gathered in this first half slip away. That's the purpose of this timeout now. NRG starting to get a grip on it.
And NRG, round 9, round 10, they were just a little faster in terms of their execution. I mean, 8 as well. They were just trying to take an area of the map, go into and execute. Not mess around so much in terms of the faking and the mid-rounding. And they're grouped up fairly heavily, a 4-1 default over towards A. The wall threatens it could be B, but the turret is quite nice to still give them information from EG.
1-1-3 on the attack side, default of NRG. Taking the space now towards A long. Deeper cascade than usual. You can see that's why Artis is spamming all the appropriate corners, making sure that nobody could have really been hiding behind that. Now setting themselves up, looking for potential hit into this one. Artis activating his dash, but it's going to be meeting 2 players, anchoring deep. It's Boostio. He's got his teammate to back him up, lit up, can't land the shots. Com still alive, but not for much longer there. It's cleaned up. Spike also exchanging hands, dropped to one side so Crash can get that plant down, a deep cove so nobody can push through. And the Cosmic Divide was used a little bit prior to this one. That might be going to waste. There needs to be an attempt from EG if they want to flood into this one, but Demon 1 is trying to retake with the Operator.
Should be challenging for him.
Yeah, we've seen him work magic. Fault line, flash deep down onto the corner. Angles what? Stephen, he carries it too! Down to Demon 1, the flick shot, it hits! A connection through the wall, damage done, lands it, rifle, it's an upgrade! Time ticking short, Som! Shuts down the Demon before he really lands his mark and makes his mark across the site. NRG getting another one, creeping closer now to trying to equalize in this half.
I can't believe what Ethan and Demon 1 were almost able to pull off there. Also want to point out that's Com using his drone to tag Artis as he comes through and set up for a potential kill. Somehow Artis survived.
Enemy remaining.
I mean, EG on their defense side are so determined to hard anchor these spots. It's not a flood, it's that the 2 people on A are going to hold A until they die. And it's on NRG to push them out. Final round. In this half, Ethan and Com over towards A, both initiators as Demon 1 and Jorgamo
Very early drone and the Hunter's Fury as well with a stun to connect. And the damage, it's there.
Spike down
A collection of crashes falling early. Deep pushed into mid, that's Demon 1. Victor was aiming to just get a bit of that spam damage in, maybe just feign like it could have been more of them. It's fallen to pieces before their eyes. EG set themselves up to get that 7-5 half and a refight as well for the back of the site. We know they're not shying away from it at this point. It's a heavy read into it, to the side of the smoke. Som punishing the hubris of Com to try and take that fight. Finesse this time, he's pushed all the way up.
He knows that Boostio is still around here. The turret's active. Boostio
Sit.
only has a sheriff and a judge right now.
Yep. He's starting to feel it, isn't he? Snake bite towards the back. That's going to break the alarm bot. Boostio actually doesn't know that this timing could be granted. Deep into window, and it's all about this. It's being watched for, though. Jorgamo holding it at the off angle, expecting there to be a reclearance at this hand. He lands it.
I can't believe he's ready for that.
What kind of game sense is that? Expecting that kind of play, and Somi's left to do the most with just 30 HP. His position is being quickly approached. The Rolling Thunder, it's set up. It should be the slam dunk, and indeed it is. 7-5 at EG. Keeping their lead going here in this first half of Haven.
And overall, an excellent start for them. EG were able to find so much success out of hard anchoring sites, and then also being able to pull off retakes where they've got some level of advantage or 4v4.
Get out of my way.
Because NRG just couldn't quite hold on. This is still anybody's game. Both teams look good at Haven.
Enemy spotted.
Just that slight lead for EG.
Here.
Tendency that they lean towards the aggression, the refights taking those timings. It's also interesting the way they play this map, but it's going to do it for the first half of Haven. It's been quite the pace indeed. Sean is actually standing by the telestrator wall to break down round number 3.
Yes, indeed, Bren. So this is round 3, and the reason why it shows this is because it's the exact setup they ran on the pistol round to start the game. And we questioned on the desk, how would EG approach this Viper wall over here at A? It denies all info. And if the Sova dart gets broken, there's nothing for EG to do. If the jet gets pushed back on short from a molly, there's nothing for them to do. There's no way for them to re-get that info. So how does EG approach the early stages of this match? They quad push A. And this is such a good idea because of how they have their Killjoy setup situated on the other side of the map. So again, looking at what they've done now, they have the alarm bot over here at C, holding C. They have a turret holding B, as well as a nano on the default plant spot. And if you notice, Boostio is actually just completely tucked inside the window of Garage. Meanwhile, the 4 players are pushing the only other open area of the map. They progress up, and they have the extra star down for a potential grab well if NRG were to take this lobby, but they don't, so they recall. The next layer of the strat comes out. Com is gonna bust out his drone, and that is gonna spot FNS in this left corner right as the smoke fades. If you pay attention, Demon is chilling here. What does he have? A Guardian. That's perfect. He can spam right through the wall. But what happens now is actually really insane. So if you look, there's actually a breach flash coming in and aftershock coming in. There's Com's dart. Com's dart is on this tree pinging FNS. And meanwhile, the push is coming through. They were gonna push through this no matter what. Com backs off, and the awareness of Com to actually hold through the link push throughout this entire time is amazing. He's very aware. But what EG can't account for are the star players on NRG, like Crashies and Victor. And Crashies nests in this spot, gets the 3 kills to close out the round, and that's what kept NRG in this game early. Clearly, EG has made a lot of adjustments. The first time the teams met, it was 6-6. Today, they have more. Can they close out this game? Back to you guys, Sideshow and Bren.
Appreciate it, Sean. Yeah, clearly adjustments being made by EG. Already seeing evidence of it as well. I mean, the last time these two teams faced off, it was NRG taking all the pistol rounds in that series. And this time, EG leading with the first one, looking to grab the second here and now. And honestly, it's all honest. 4 of the players grouped up from EG towards C long. A bit of a jump spot just to begin. Boostio as well. Got the confidence. He's got the sheriff.
Recalling my bot.
Just waiting for any early aggression and then going straight into this hit.
Turret taken down. It's going to be now propping up the Viper wall on Finesse. In theory, with a double wall comp, you should be able to retake quite effectively. Cutting off those sight lines as well, partitioning up the site as it happens. Jorgamo.
Big kill.
Yeah, loses his fight there watching the flank. That's Victor, and his job was the re-clearance. An attempt to fight deep here, maybe from EG. Want to use the initiator util that they do have. Cascade, though, in the face. Demon 1 slowed down. Trailblazers a stun. It connects. And will there be the kills to follow up on it? Sung a bit of chaos into this one. Deep flash into the back. Victor strikes with 3 so far in a round.
The players are weak.
Hoping to make it 4, but yes, the players are weak. And a couple of taps of the ghost might be enough. Half under the fuse. Has he bought enough time? Victor sticking it. The dart doesn't have time to break it. It's
Don't
gone.
worry, you're with me.
What a player. And he has been stepping up constantly over the playoffs.
And so often he finds these moments playing off his utility. These sneaky recon darts, the way that I've seen him win clutches from that position, just using shocks off the wall, for example. That time, accurate spam through smoke into a recon dart kill.
Revealing area.
Excellently done.
There they are.
NRG were running a lot
Don't
of
worry.
flood defenses against Furia when it was the double wall matchup and the mirror. Here, they may end up playing more heavy retake style instead of running in to help the site anchors. In order to get a read on that, take a look at how Som is using his high tide. Does he use it as EG are going for the plant to funnel people in, or is he waiting for all of NRG to group up? That time they went for a set retake. Victor's just trying to bait them into this C stack.
Yeah, a bit of a stack with 3 of the players there. Garage still being watched for by Ardis. And it's NRG just trying to, listen, break the pieces of util, the dart or whatever else that comes through, make sure that they show some presence, but not all of it, because they want EG to walk right into their sightlines. The question is, do EG have that discipline to clear the close corner? Som takes another bite of the apple, but, well, actually pays for it. The Guardian spam through the box, another attempt by Ardis as well with that swing, and this is a deep push, isn't it? A risk to be taken, but it's an eco round, so acceptable from Crashies. He's lurked his way in, and he can hear the footsteps now. He's going to be making the call. That rotation is happening, and he's going to be looking for his own time to strike here. Comms found! Spam from the classic. Spike drop down. He's just buying even more time. And EG set to scramble. They left Demon 1 in a forward position, and now they're going to be, again, setting their sights back towards C. Demon 1's called the rotation. He heard them all getting out of there.
And Crashies has told the rest of his team, 2 already passed me, they went to A. So everyone on NRG scuttles to the wrong side of the map as EG regroup in a post plant that should be winnable despite the fact they're in a 3v4.
Should be winnable. It was looking ever so slightly disastrous, but the aim, you can always rely on it with Demon 1, this guy. The menace. It is down to the 3-on-3. You can pick up a couple of upgrades in the moment. Here you can see a fast flank attempt. 2 players of NRG starting to run their way up towards C long. Dash is there, and Demon 1 spotted it. 2 of the players inside of Cubby.
Better luck next life.
They'll be dealt with. There's really no chance in hell that they're able to win this one. You can see NRG already setting themselves up to go down to the spike, not give away any more ult orbs. This is EG looking more than clean right now. Well versed, well prepped. Both pistol rounds under their belt. They win the anti-eco. Without too much damage done, can set their sights on the bonus, but the map pick of NRG not paying off like they potentially hoped.
And actually, it's been incredibly even outside of the pistol rounds. And that's, I think, what you could have kind of said about the last time that these 2 teams clashed on Haven. NRG won the pistols, and it spurred them to a very close victory on this map. These teams are essentially dead even outside of those situations. We'll see whether that continues as we head deeper.
Right there.
Double bounce to the Shocky in case there is a deep alarm bot, but we know otherwise. Towards Garage, EG. A bit of mid-rounding here. Exploring towards mid and Garage, just to try and break some of that Killjoy utility. That was their goal, and now they can set their sights also over towards A. Ethan.
They've spotted Ethan. Usually the breach would be with the pack,
Yeah.
but that's not the case this time.
Free clearance. Crashies is not set up with any sort of utility. He just takes the fight. Making sure to watch for that one. Som did contain the first swing, but Ethan's there to trade, and
Jogamo wasn't seen.
he was not.
Could he be a danger?
Yeah. Flash.
Not seen again?
False info. He's pushed up onto the corner. Crashies didn't have his crosshair for it, but wasn't a rifle in the hands of Jogamo, so he couldn't quite punish that deeper swing.
Nice idea from EG, though, in this round, but it hasn't paid off. NRG going for those aggressive re-clears of areas, similar to what we'd seen from Boostio in the first half.
30
this time,
seconds
Crashies
left.
doing everything for his team. But I do like the idea from EG of having, weirdly enough, your breach be the lurker in a weird round like this. They're just trying to throw off Finesse's read of where the main stack of bodies is.
Aiming to try and get themselves onto the B side. Ooh, the spike. Juggernaut with the plant. I don't know if it's swayed him. The Util actually missing, but all the kills collected regardless. So NRG do sail their way through into that bonus round, relatively unscathed. Not giving away too much there.
But I don't think EG will pull out plays like that very often. One of the things they like to do on maps like this is take an area early, set Demon 1 up as a lurker, strangely enough, on the jet, and then potentially return to him later on. We actually saw that kind of in round 14 when they went back to Demon 1 over at C.
Planted.
It was intriguing hearing Les talk about his experience playing against Demon 1, saying it feels weird playing against him. He doesn't put that much pressure on you as an entry. He feels more of this lurking presence.
Right.
Although he certainly can do it when EG group up for an exec. But they don't really play full execute heavy very often, this EG squad. They're normally a bit slow mid-roundy on Haven.
Yeah, they tend to a slower beginning. Make sure that they break that killjoy utility, hunt for picks off the back of it. Now Artis has got his dash active, so he wants to make something off of it. Deep push. Down here. Was that the alarm bot picked up?
Yeah. Why has that happened?
Too sure.
Did Jorgamo think that Artis had left? Artis might have just found the perfect timing.
Yeah, there's a gap in the play if he can exploit it.
Meanwhile, like I said, Demon 1 set up as a bit of a lurker over in A lobby. That's where NRG are going towards. Jorgamo had no idea, and Demon 1 gets cleared out too.
This is NRG with every advantage going their way, every duel going their way. Spike to be planted here. Fast flank attempt by NRG. All three of them swinging around to the side. An easy collection. Ethan dropped down. Com last one standing. This was an investment from him. He wasn't even aware of that. Seeker right at his back, spotted him exactly. So, all 5 players surviving for NRG, despite losing both of these pistol rounds. Now starting to try and get a handle on the map overall. Maybe bring it even.
The common theory with these compositions is that on defense, with the Harbor Viper, you kind of need to fight for mid and garage because you can't control A lobby early. And what NRG are doing is instead allowing EG to take A lobby, and then when they leave that area, re-pushing it. I think that's very smart, and it also works into the way that EG like to play. When they take A, they very rarely end A instantly. They're not an exec-heavy team.
Oh. An attempt to get something started here for EG.
Strike down A.
Sent straight to the dust.
One enemy
It's the half
remaining.
by. They were just hoping as well to see if they could pick off any sort of players. Spikes in the middle of nowhere. Com.
He gets a weapon out of that.
Yeah.
But he is kind of trapped.
Very much so. Be hard pressed to try and survive into this one. And it's a real new testing staging ground for EG as well as a team. You know, they've held this lead so far on NRG's map pick. We were talking a little bit about it, but you know, this entire season has been a bit of a marathon. I think that really does showcase as well when you get into the best of 5s, deep into these playoffs, because that's where your map pool starts to get tested. And for EG,
Enemy remaining.
Ethan in the past has spoke about that lack of endurance that they've had, being able to really close out some of those crucial series. We saw that against Loud when they played them. I think EG will be looking to grab that map win of NRG's map pick here on Haven. If they get that early on underneath them, they can go into Ascent with a lot more confidence, knowing that they can really maybe just close this one out. But it is slipping away from them, that chance. Stun and a pull. Just to put the punish now onto Crashies. He has been flashing from that spot.
Once more, they take A control early on, and it's Demon 1 just kind of left lingering around in A lobby as EG explore towards the rest of the map. And Victor and Artis have taken this timing to go and control C. They're set up in a very nice bait and switch here. Ethan may want to play for the orb, or they might just go into the C exec. Either way, Victor's in a good spot.
Throw and Hunter's Fury doesn't clear it. Victor onto the corner, he can't get anything done.
He couldn't see for the Hunter's Fury.
And talk about the bait and switch. I mean, Victor, the luxury of multiple targets, the deep push down, Crashies, and Som! Laying down the bullets, laying down the fire, and everybody wading right into them. No reaction, another day in the office.
Look at how quick NRG are to take map control on defense based off those timings. I mean, as soon as the drone is used and as soon as Artis and Victor get any level of contact towards C, Crashes and Zom have already barreled through a lobby. Watching out for Demon One. And then
That's the last one.
lining them all up. EG, they need to call a timeout here because on a strategic level, Finesse has got the read.
Yeah, it's going missing, isn't it?
I mean, he just knows how EG are working their map control.
Dependencies, right?
Yeah, he's
a little
completely
burst of
outplayed.
it, explore somewhere else.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
all
very much.
NRG are doing is like, okay, wherever they use util at the beginning, we're going to just take the opposite side of the map. We're going to push out, we're going to take that space, and we're going to punish when they start to rotate and go somewhere else.
And then we're going to re-clear the first area of the map that they took. I feel like this is a very smart read coming out from Chet and Finesse. But how do EG respond to it? How does Potter respond? I would like to see them go for a big execute. It doesn't have to be necessarily this round. Their economy's in shambles. So as long as you can mentally weather the idea of going down 9-10 and giving NRG the lead for one of the first times, as long as you can still feel comfortable in yourself, next round, go for a big A exec with the breach shell. Get Demon One in, aggressive, set him up for success.
Turret out.
It's that half buy, fiscally responsible from EG. Not an overinvestment, making sure that they can keep carrying it forwards into the next. So in all likelihood, they will be going down in terms of that round. Differential. They do need to start throwing something new into it. Here we go, investing in ultimate. Okay, Cosmic Divide. Splits up the site. The side effect as well of potentially faking like it could be that B hit. Dash forwards. That's going to be heard by Victor. He's stunned up though, close to the corner onto default. Will he get cleared out into this spot?
This is a weird spot.
Yeah, it's carnage really, isn't it? Two players walking right into Som. Deals with them handedly. The operator watching as well for the window swing. We know nobody's there. The rest of EG now onto the site. Finesse is hunting for that timing. He hears it, plans how to go off. Wide face, one still there close, tries to adjust it with the spacing and the movement. The lockdown would have dealt with it if Victor did not. And so, going up to 10 here for NRG. They did have to invest ults into that. Or at least felt it necessary to invest the lockdown, even against the half buy. So maybe EG can consider that a win, but they also ended up using an ult of their own with the Cosmic Divide.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm surprised that Victor goes for it, but it does secure the round for NRG.
Turret down.
This really, though, this round coming up is going to be the one I think that Potter's taken the timeout for. That was a cheeky eco idea, but now we get to see the real strategic adaptation that EG have gone for. It's 9-10. They're feeling the squeeze currently, and like you said, Bren, they would love to get out to a good lead in this BO5 and finish NRG early.
Control being brought back. Shot dart. Does break the alarm bot here, so maybe now sightlines and eyes are going to have to be allocated towards mid, just in case. Noise being heard in mid here. Victor calls that, forces out that high tide, a close box to the angle. You don't really expect this, but it's normal for teams to spam this if they do take that garage control. Now they remove the turret through the wall. And what do they want to land into? Is it a sightline of Ardis?
The garage control, yeah, it has pulled everybody away apart from Ardis.
Here we go. Drone does spot that, so they know there's an operator onto the site. The fault line as well slows him down. All the way back. Now the Rolling Thunder as well. This will definitely be carving deep into the site. There's a Viper's Pit that's used and dropped down. On top of it! It's all combined. Util towards the back. Demon One is set up. It's a field day for him.
What a pull!
And look at this.
Jorgamo.
Jorgamo's there, doesn't expect the second. It's returned with the fire, but I feel like the job is done.
The job absolutely done there. Gorgeous play. Con throws it. So, as soon as Ardis takes contact with the operator, he sees the drone, he backs up, he calls for Finesse to come in, put down a Viper's Pit. We are holding A. That's what NRG are thinking. EG respond by breach ulting and pulling at spawn. Look at these guys. They're stunned up. They can't move. When you're slowed like that, there is no way to escape the pull. And there's even a recon dart that flies in there just to make sure that they can't be at back default.
Yeah, great combination.
I'd like to see them do that again. Boostio put down his alarm bot early in A lobby so that he has info if NRG repush that area, and then they go into a very standard A exec. I think ideas like that are going to work for EG.
Did take some ultimates to make it happen. NRG, something a little bit new. Ardis is deep pushed up now towards A lobby. Flash not connecting. Maybe Crashies will rotate, but still just jiggle peeking. EG, on the other hand, hearing out that turret. That's going to be an aftershock used just for the turret. I mean, it's broken. Stun as well into that garage, taking control of it now as well, trying to clear out that utility.
Recovering it. Need that back.
It's that standard mid-rounding from EG. Making the most of it. But we're now down to just below the minute mark in the round.
And Com has saved his drone. Same as the final round, same as the previous round, sorry.
Crashes needs to break this.
To push Ardis away.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's called. Ardis calls it. But with that being broken so early.
Look, they expect it.
Yeah. That's why they're spamming that. This is why it's so hard to chew through the double wall comms, the high tide propped up.
30
Up close
seconds
now
left.
though, the lockdown. That should push them back off of the B site.
Placing
Pinging
swarm
onto the
grenade.
common corner as well. Star at the feet, all the way back. When he's propping that one up, Finesse. Time running short, dash forwards, Demon 1. He's wasting no time. Striking within those minute opportunities. There was a bit of util to set him up on top of it, and this flank, well,
One down.
flanks on flanks.
That's really nice. Ardis is making noise, turns the head of Jorgamo, and they get that
of noise.
pinch play.
Yep, this has got to be called now that there's two players that way. Come down to just these fights being taken. Turret off to the side. Does it get cornered yet? Oh, well, double face, double swing! Ethan! He can't be removed, he can't be denied. He gets his two, and he's made the decision easy for NRG. Hard pill to swallow nevertheless, but they do have to back away and just accept that they're not winning this round. This is EG taking the lead.
Great play from Ethan. I mean, he should go down there. The way that Ardis and Victor have played it is nice, but they're just a little shaky on those shots.
Yeah.
So EG coming out of that Potter timeout have really turned things around. What a recon. That one's like William Tell. Shot an apple off Som's head.
They're just insane. But always supporting Team 1 in those moments.
Absolutely.
I love what we're seeing in this map so far. I mean, it's just excellency in terms of those adjustments, the adaptations, one after the other. When it feels like Finesse has got a great read in the way that EG are playing, they take the timeout, take the pause, and answer back, taking the lead in this map. NRG not finished yet, though, obviously. Now they've got their final timeout, can utilize this and see if they can correct the course before it's too late.
Finesse said yesterday when I talked to him that this has been the most stressed that he's ever been trying to get into a Masters tournament. The competition levels have just increased so much.
Yeah,
And
not surprised.
Teams like EG show you why. I mean, not only is NRG having to fight against top South American teams like Loud, for example, their perennial rivals, but he's also having to put down upstarts from his own backyard.
And you
People
can
like
tell.
EG and C9.
A little bit as well. I mean, they were running the content pieces and hearing, from NRG. They were upset that they lost the initial matchup. They feel like they shouldn't have lost it. They're viewing EG as that scrappy rookie team almost still, even with some of the veteran presence that's been added in. And, there is that level of disrespect towards it. A bit of that rivalry between both of them and a tech pause, of course. Couldn't escape it.
No, it wouldn't be a true Valorant BO5 without it, would it?
Couldn't escape it. Hopefully quite short, so we'll be getting back into it because it's starting to get tense, isn't it? 11-10.
And of course, there's always chances to rebound. Doesn't matter too much which way this first map goes. There are always ways of recovering, but you want to start out on a good foot, especially when maps like this can be the common ground, kind of, in the middle of both teams' map pools.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Monitor issue on the stage just to keep you all up to date.
Thank you. Good info.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate
I'll
that.
get up there soon as well. I'll fix it. It's probably a cable problem. Swap that one out.
I was talking just then about how Finesse was stressed so badly in these big matches to get to Tokyo. Both of these teams already made it to Masters, but now they're hunting for that regional title, to be the first team to be able to claim yourself the winner of VCT Americas.
Yeah.
And of course, Loud waiting there in the grand finals for either of these winners. But NRG was also, they were pushed almost to the brink and off the brink yesterday. I think part of that revenge story here in this game is punishing EG, trying to get revenge against EG for even forcing them to go through that trauma.
Yes. the path that they've had to take in the lower bracket. I think we haven't really discussed it too much, but there is that idea, that semblance of, you know, revenge for both of these teams. Both of them want that chance in the grand finals to take it again to Loud. You think about it. I mean, there's a rivalry that's spanning the many years. NRG versus Loud. That's unfortunate. Hopefully she's not watching.
She'll be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, both teams have had some extraordinary games against Loud, that team in the grand finals recently.
Exactly, and so they're both going to be looking for that next chance just before all these teams end up going to Tokyo. See if they can battle them once more in the grand finals of Americas and maybe get something going. A bit of a revenge match definitely there.
During these tech pauses, the players are not allowed to talk, but it doesn't mean the players aren't allowed to think. And while Boostio's obviously the one that has this monitor issue, you can see him fiddling with it.
He's wrangling with it, isn't he?
But this, you know, you hear from Finesse quite a lot that what he needs most in matches like this is time. Time to think. Time to mull things over. And sometimes that comes in the middle of a round where he asks his players just to chill and wait and hold for him as he comes up with the call. But, you know, pauses like this might be able to give him that moment to think and reflect too.
Internalize what needs to be done here. We ready to go? It looks like it almost raring, but we'll see. Final tests, making sure that the monitor's in order before we jump back into this one. Obviously, map 1 here, lower bracket finals, best of 5 territory. And with the way that both of these teams have been playing, of how back and forth it's been, I really do feel, Josh, that we might have a full 5 mapper on the cards. It's always the chance of it, because these teams have been so even.
Yeah, I think that's quite likely. You look at the map pool, it's pretty back and forth. All right, so let's get back into it. The score 11-10, EG coming off a timeout have managed to retake the lead. Artist Operator looking like he wants to poke down B.
Straight down the middle of the map. Someone watching his window. Same play towards A long. It's the pull and the stun to punish. A flick, an adjustment not there. And Boostio.
How does he get away with that?
What a reward. Sets himself up nicely for the beginning of this round. Artis, you look to him to try and shut down those playmakers like Demon 1, and with him no longer in the fight, hard pressed.
Not ready yet.
Where does the next advantage come from? Jump spot, info gathered. We use the Trailblazer. He's just jiggling it just in case he gets broken.
So he spotted 2 players over there towards A long.
There's Demon 1.
Keep 3 on the side.
Yeah, did spot the Jet player, which sometimes means, okay, well, they're probably going to be heavily grouped up over here, but sometimes Demon 1 does like to lurk in those positions as well. Doesn't actually tell you too much.
Still, though, NRG keep 3 players here, and that's allowed Boostio entry into B. The Killjoy utility got put up C Garage early because Artist was playing in this spot. And now he's removed. Boostio's set up on the timing. It looks so good.
Yep, 30 seconds. The time running it down
left.
all the way. And it's all set up from the flash. Round the back, Boostio does his best, does the work. 3 in a round, was hunting for the 4th. But already, the job is finished just from that one timing. EG set themselves up. This will be that 12th round. One more step away from claiming the opening map here in our lower bracket finals.
And it's been close. Both pistols going the way of EG, but they've also put together some gorgeous gun rounds, like this one. All set up from the IGL of Boostio with his gun skill and timing. Part of EG's unbelievable run recently, since squeaking into the playoffs, has just been the raw form that these players are in.
Yeah.
The roster on paper's got a lot of firepower. Boostio, Jogumo, Demon 1, Ethan, you know, like, Com 2 has been playing pretty well off his utility, but in terms of like big fraggers, Jogumo and Boostio used to be heavy hitters, and now they've moved on to more supportive roles. But when they're still feeling it, when they're hitting shots like this, they sunrun like crazy.
Oh, yeah. This is an EG that's been fixing as well a lot of those problems.
30
The
seconds
little
left.
Painted with. Yeah,
the
the
little jiggle
there.
to bait out the op shot,
So nice.
and then wallbang kill.
Enemy
It's
remaining.
just beautiful from Boostio. That's what a new monitor will do to you.
He's like, yeah, the problem's fixed. I got it, guys. Don't worry. Would have been doing that all game long.
Placing sentry.
But here we are. One more round. We'll do it. The with the lead gained. Same setup, same util being used at the beginning to punish it, Artis!
Wow, nice idea.
Yeah. Great way to strike back and strike fear maybe into the hearts of them. Close to the corners, a flash is dodged, smoke at his feet just to avoid it. Flashes on flashes to push them away on either side. And well, on the other side of the map, there was damage being done to Finesse. Lucky to escape, 9 HP.
Recalling my bot.
Boostio's causing a lot of chaos around here. He's already inside this cove.
Oh, wait.
Oh, the timing is just brutal here, potentially.
Someone trying to bait like he expects the re-push. Side by side, watches it. I was wondering, using the cove early there, but works out for him. Nets that kill. He knows to expect that re-push as well. An attempt still being made here. Victor holding for the smoke. Does he adjust the aim in time? He does not. It's Ethan who wins it. Lovely bit of spam aftershock. Collecting the timing, yet Jorgamo, he wins the fight anyway. And this is a double push attempt to punish that one. 2 players left standing now. It is a 2v3. NRG had such a big lead in terms of that players they brought down prior. Calls made. Ethan and Com moving forwards in towards the back. A late swing from Ethan, only for the one. Running his way up, high tide, cuts his way across. Stun now, ripping through. Artis gets off it, but gets half. Spamming it all the way, forces Ethan to swing, but back onto it, the retap. Artis can just stick it. And safety in numbers. Som, he was watching for it, any sort of a re-push. Ethan didn't have the tools to try and push away that one and win it out.
Nice idea from Ethan, just going for the jump peek through the wall, seeing if he can pull the player off the defuse, but they'd lost too many bodies too early. So every round, EG have been going for this, the stun into the pull. And Artis gets up and over the top of it, unhurt by either of those, to collect the first. The small outplays based on what your opponents are doing constantly. That's how you do the micro anti-stratting. Final round of regulation here. Artis with an operator again. NRG kind of scrambling to get into their defensive positions. There's only Crashies here on the A side.
Yeah, really late adjustments. EG obviously offloading again the same tools, the same utility. Dart through the back, a flash as well. Crashies, he's got to be calling for this one. It feels like an A hit.
Blinded.
And we can see that it is. EG moving, dash into the back. Demon 1's still there. Now gets the rifle out. High tide to try and grant them some space. Demon 1 still active. There's a gap here. As that smoke did dissipate, now the Cosmic Divide cuts its way through. It's going to be preventing NRG from trying to play this one fast.
There's a Reckoning here.
Reckoning, it's going to make it hard to try and hold it down. The right-click Demon 1. He is a nuisance. Lurking this way, that way, pushing forwards. All the way, stunned up. NRG claiming all the kills. They want to bring this one to OT. A fight to be taken forwards towards them. Pulling it down, Ethan. He lands 2 of the shots. Come with the Hunter's Fury, and he can push them off the plant. Already to defuse. It is not halfway. EG, have they done enough? Time ticking short. Not half on the defuse. Crashies. It's just sheer impossibilities. And it's Com who sails into it. 13-11. Map 1 under their belt.
What a way to finish the first map there. And I think NRG will come away from that the same way EG did last time. We had a very close game, but we lost both pistols. Frankly, though, there were so many moments there where both teams had great ideas of how to outplay their opponents. That final round, it looked like EG had pulled off the retake. It looked like we were heading into overtime. And Ethan steps up with a huge 2K.